addition to the grammar and language. Ms. St. Clair's work does not stop in the classroom, however. She continues to advance education through serving as the chair of the Foreign Language Department, assessing the scope of summer assignments within the school, sponsoring Spanish Honor Society, and undoubtedly helping our school in ways which I am not even aware. As a student, I don't know much about her work in the first two areas, but I do know the seriousness she takes in everything she does with working with her in Spanish Honor Society. This organization allows her to provide a place for motivated students to continue their Spanish learning. For example, she helped me organize a tutoring database connecting students who want Spanish tutoring to Spanish Honor Society members. Through the years, she has also planned field trips and organized activities for us to participate in, including a tour in all Spanish of the National Gallery in DC and a school dance with international music. She even helped me apply for a Spanish Honor Society scholarship that I ultimately won, dedicating her time after school to read over my essay and to interview me on camera, showing my Spanish skills. Ms. St. Clair has touched my life in a way that will never be forgotten. By teaching me Spanish and French in class, and through volunteering as my mentor of my foreign language independent study, her dedication has fueled my enthusiasm to pursue a career in foreign language. Through her teaching and commitment outside of class, Ms. St. Clair has inspired me to pursue my passion in language.
Is he here this afternoon? He's here. Well, what I'll do is I'll read his message, and I will ask Holly Hall, please come forward. This is a little bit different presentation simply because Ms. Hall is not a so-called teacher in our schools. She is an extension, I guess you could say, the Dad English Language Institute Talent Search, and she had that profound impact on Will. And this is coming from Will. Mrs. Hall deserves this award because she has inspired me to be a better person and a better student. She has done this not through helping me with college stuff, but by helping me with anything that I ask. For example, she helped me with SAT and college applications. She also helped me communicate with Bradford University to get financial aid. Mrs. Hall is also one of the nicest people that I know. If it were not for her help, I would not be going to college next year. Let's Will back. Would Maddie Youngman please come forward?
Dr. Bradley. When I was in 3rd grade, I felt as if I were drowning. I couldn't read nearly as fast or as well as the other kids. It was awful. Day after day, walking through, knowing I'd be left behind and confused. High school was difficult, and it was a time when I learned I had dyslexia. It was something I kind of knew I had, but I was diagnosed until my sophomore year. And I'd like to thank Dr. Bradley because he came to every single 504 meeting. He went through this struggle with me. He gave me second chances when others did not. He understood me when time was really tough. He was a really important teacher in my life. I couldn't have done this without Dr. Bradley because he inspired me to push through when it was really hard. And I felt like I did not belong in every classroom except his. I never felt as safe as I did in his classroom, because I knew he cared. He cares about every single student he teaches, and he's there for you every step of the way. He'll be there for every single struggle anyone ever has, and he will help you push through. Which is why I think he deserved this award so much, because he really cares about every single student.
Is Alex Anderson or Matthew Blackburn here, please? Come forward. I think this was one that Mr. Shepard, Matt Shepard, who's not here today, he is the recipient of one of the awards. If you'll bear with me, I'll do my best to read this without my glasses. I need to borrow yours again. I'll do the best I can. This is from Alex, and it says the following. Over the years, Mr. Shucker has been a huge influence and inspiration in Rockbridge for band students. He has shown outstanding dedication to education and enthusiasm for music unlike any I've seen. It is important education, especially in the arts, to create an engaging and exciting learning environment that students feel safe in and free to make mistakes in. From the moment I walked into band at Marbury Middle School, Mr. Shucker made me feel welcome. I signed up for band on accident, actually. When I saw it was my first period, I resolved to drop it later. But Mr. Shucker created such a welcoming and fun environment that I decided to stick around. I was awful. Months in, I still couldn't make heads or tails of the trumpet. Mr. Shucker never stopped to encourage me, though. I came in the mornings and practiced and tried to improve. Eventually, I did, and some of his enthusiasm rubbed off on me. I soon became one of the best players in the school, then in the area, and not long after that, I was the best in the whole district. Just as he was eager to encourage me when I was doing poorly, Mr. Shucker helped me when he saw that I was getting ahead of what he did in class. He would suggest new things for me to learn scales, rhythms, techniques, etc., but even provide me with the resources to learn them. He helped me get into the high school marching band and Rockbridge Symphony when I was in 8th grade. He knew I could learn a lot from playing in those groups, and I did. He even helped set up lessons for me with a trumpet guy in the area. Everyone who has ever had Mr. Shucker can tell you what an impression he leaves. He radiates kindness, positivity, and passion for music. His teaching methods are effective and make learning a real pleasure. This is important because music teaches more than notes and songs. Music teaches a lot of things like discipline, thoughtfulness, patience, commitment, and confidence. And Mr. Shucker does his job so well that it doesn't matter if a student sticks with music later in life, they'll always have those non-musical lessons. Even into high school, Mr. Shucker has always made himself available for questions of any kind and is always happy to help. This has been especially important with band being so up in the air at the high school. Now I've been accepted to JMU and the School of Music at JMU, and I plan to pursue a degree in music education with the hopes of becoming a middle school band director myself. Mr. Shucker exposed me to two of life's greatest joys, music and teaching. Music has helped me over the last 7 years. There are some difficult times, and without it, and without Mr. Shucker, I don't know where I would be. He saw potential in me when I couldn't, and I am incredibly thankful. That's from Alex, and I'll read the next one from Matthew. Mr. Shucker is, without a doubt, the most inspirational and all-around best teacher in Rockbridge County school system. When he came to elementary school, he got kids excited about band so that they would take it in middle school. I was instantly hooked. Hearing him speak so passionately and trying to be so involved in recruiting new band kids was an incredible thing to see. I went home that night and asked my mom if I could be in band. Once I got to middle school, he was my favorite teacher. He enjoys teaching the kids, having fun, and joking with the kids, and being there for them all above all. I heard him say just this year, if I could do everything for my kids for the rest of their lives, I would. And needless to say, that left an even greater impression on me. He pushed me to do my best in some of the worst years of my life and helped me find a passion that has not left me to this day. In fact, it has grown expediently. In the recent months, he has helped myself and a few of my friends with their JMU plans since he attended the university. He has even helped me find a private teacher. 4 years after having him, he is still the most influential person in my music career and has given me the most advice and aid. When the band program lost its director over the summer last year, it was Mr. Shucker and Ms. Doyle, the middle school directors, that came to the rescue. They made sure we were working and fought to make sure that the school would still have a marching band. They are both committed to us far more than any other teachers I can think of. Band directors are amazing, and they all have some of these qualities, but what makes Mr. Shucker so spectacular is the time, energy, and passion he puts into every student and everything he does. This is a man that takes statistics on everything, from how many kids are on average continue in high school band to the number of adults per child that attend concerts, so he can print the exact number of programs to save trees. He's phenomenal. The few people that I know that are pursuing music in college, myself included, have him to thank for sharing his passion and heart with us. Even the kids that dropped out of band still remember him fondly because of how happy, caring, fun, and talented he was. He has spent so long mastering his craft and is a tremendous player. He has the ability to play every instrument adequately, and can also play professionally on his instrument choice, the trombone. He is a role model and a hero to almost all the kids that have him. Congratulations to Mr. Matt Shucker. At this time, would Harrison Brander and Sarah Best please come forward?
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and... Despite our best attempts to quantify and measure it through standardized testing and performance reports, teaching is and always will be an inexact art. We entrust our teachers with the most precious and burdensome task of educating our youth, but the true extent of impact a teacher has on the student is often obscured amid the race of high school and the vault to higher education in the real world. Though teachers may attempt to impact their students through heavy-handed assignments or speeches filled with bombast and inspiring rhetoric, I found that sometimes the most influencing assistance a teacher can lend a student is a listening ear. The classroom at its heart is founded upon communication and the transfer of information between students and teachers. So the simple act of listening and responding to students on both their problems and successes in and out of class is the most influential gift a teacher can grant. And when I think of teachers who have gone above and beyond to provide this to their students, Michelle Balcom comes immediately to mind. She was my teacher in honors chemistry when I took a class a year early, one of a handful of sophomores in a class of all juniors. I was anxious but also electrified. From day one, the demonstration of vibrant and violent chemical reactions fanned my latent passion for science and constituted my first foray into the chemical world, where the crack of atoms allows all of this to happen. And I found Ms. Balcom to be a teacher not only engaged in her curriculum and her lesson plans, but also engaged in her students and their lives. After school, her room would fill with students seeking help on homework, tests, and quizzes, and she found time not only to see them all, but also to ask about their latest athletic event, to congratulate them on their new job, or to send her best wishes to a family member with illness. She often demonstrated her extraordinary kindness and regard, and I found myself waiting in the line of students after school, not only to ask for assistance with chemistry, but to bring Ms. Balcom clippings of interesting articles or to show an excerpt from the latest science book that I read. She was not only my chemistry teacher, but my STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math advisor in subjects ranging from quantum tunneling to biological disease control. She was always there to talk to, and she helped encourage and stoke my passion for understanding the world around me. I would not be where I am today without her counsel as a stepping stone. I credit her entirely for the confidence I possess to pursue a summer internship at the W Biology Lab and engage in 2 semesters of independent study on artificial photosynthesis. Even 2 years later, I know that I can always stop by for a discussion on topics, ranging from my latest infatuation on honeybees to my plans for college next year. Her heart of gold and her willingness to engage with the students have left a lasting impact on me.
So I can say following that, mine's probably not going to be quite as, I don't know, but I will say that I'm very nostalgic, so I might get emotional. When I arrived at the door of Ms. Balkin's classroom on the last day of my sophomore year, to pick up my summer assignment, I was nervous as to what her honors class had in store. However, she briefly outlined the information for me before I left her room. My sense of worry instantly vanished. Not because the scientific concepts were simpler than I was expecting, but rather because her genuine kindness and love of teaching shined through. As I went home for summer vacation, I dreaded the summer assignments, as any high school student does. Nevertheless, I completed the assignment and worked hard because I wanted to provide Ms. Welcome with as good of a first impression of me as I had received of her. Okay. She seemed to be quite fond of my project and complimented my work when I turned it in. So I felt as though I hit it off to a pretty great start. Throughout the school year, she never failed to provide further explanations and applications of certain concepts when requested. And she approached every day with a positive attitude. I've always been interested in science and had a desire to pursue a career related to its studies, but it was this bottom that officially sealed the deal for me. She was always encouraging and supportive of my goals, and she was the first person I would approach for suggestions about recommendations for secondary studies. Also, when she told me one day at the end of the class that I would make a wonderful